bro. Bro. Hey, bro. Hey, bro. Yeah, that's right. I'm talking to you. Are you looking for snakehead lures? Alright. Do you know what lures to buy? Mad Bear Anglers here to teach you what to buy. You like that? Alright. What up, fishing fans? It's your boy Mad Bear Angler, and for this week's Tackle Talk Weekends, we're gonna talk about lures that you might want to consider when you're starting snakehead fishing. All of the items that I'm gonna discuss here are all based on my personal opinions, and that's pretty much it. One of the reasons I made this video is to help out those people who are not sure on what lures to buy in terms of snakehead fishing. So instead of you buying frantically either online or in your local tackle shop, well, if you have the money, well, go ahead. If you're a weekend angler or running on a little budget, this video is for you. So if you're new to snakehead fishing, keep watching. Just a heads up, I primarily fish here in the Philippines. So if you are fishing elsewhere, let's hear it in the comments down below. So we're gonna consider lures that you might want to use in open water, heavy cover fishing, and if you're fishing under choppy waters. Snakeheads are ambush predators, meaning they just wait for prey to come along and then BAM! Top water explosion. Let's go ahead and discuss the first category, which is everybody's favorite, open water fishing. So when I say open water fishing, you're fishing waters that don't have any vegetation, either visible above the water or below the water, and weather conditions are just right. It's sunny, there's no wind, probably with a slight overcast. Very ideal, very conducive for fishing. For the first lure that I'm gonna discuss, it's everybody's favorite, the hollow body frog. Very versatile. Usually hollow body frogs have double hooks instead of the single or treble hooks. There are a wide variety of hollow bodied lures, not just frogs, available on the market. It also comes in a dancer format. This I believe is a Noeby dancer frog. So what it does, it's built for doing walk the dog. Whenever you try to walk the dog or WTD, a frog lure usually goes side to side. If you're too lazy in doing walk the dog, you can also purchase the auto walk the dog version. This is a Proggy Warrior auto walk the dog. I believe it's 10 grams. This little bad boy over here, you just need to slow retrieve it and it will auto walk the dog, hence the name. Some hollow-bodied lures have built-in propellers on it, like this lunker hunt. So this bad boy over here comes in 2 propellers on each leg, and it comes with a stinger hook from our hookup ratio. There are also teeny weeny hollow-body frogs, like this one. This is a Proggy Warrior 7-gram hollow-body frog. So comparing the small one versus the big one that I normally use for tallman fishing or giant snakehead fishing, you can see the size difference. This little bad boy over here has a little Colorado spinner. Just a tip, if you're fishing waters with finicky snakeheads, I highly recommend that you use smaller lures. What you can do is you can cast out the lure, slowly retrieve it, probably jerk it every once in a while to initiate a strike. Since it's open water, you might want to also consider using lures that have treble hooks on them, like this Yozuri prop bait or this Kingdom Drunk Propeller or any Whopper Plopper style baits. In my opinion, those are effective against snakeheads. Or another great alternative lures that you can use for snakehead fishing are buzzbaits. Personally, I love using buzzbaits when fishing for giant snakeheads. So the traditional looking buzzbait looks like this. So it usually has a long shaft, and then there's the hook, and then there's either 1 or 2 propellers, and sometimes it comes with a clacker. You can use a traditional looking buzzbait, but here in my country, we have these kinds of buzzbaits called buzz frogs. The buzz frogs, however, they have more of a inline presentation. So you have the shaft here and then there's a hook. Usually this portion over here looks like a frog and it has either 1 or 2 propellers. So in my hand, I'm holding the UDY Double Propeller, 30 grams. Also, this buzz frog over here, this is the RJF Slashbait. This one has a clacker built in. Create a lot of noise whenever you try to reel it in. Might also want to consider using animal baits. If it's available in your country, might want to consider getting jump frogs. Jump frogs are usually made of wood, And they're called jump frogs because they literally jump up and down while you do fast or slow retrieve depending on the model of your jump frog. Another option for lures that you might want to consider are soft plastics. Not only soft plastics are cheap and usually bought in packs, also you need to use an extra wide gap hook for this one. So if you want a cheaper alternative in snakehead fishing, soft plastics is the way to go. Or you might want to consider getting either a buzzbait or a hollow body frog that is also a popper. If you don't have those four options, just use any lure that creates a lot of commotion whenever you try to reel it in. In my experience, especially on open water, the noisier the lure, the better. Especially if you're fishing pristine waters, which fish are not familiar with fishing lures. For open water fishing, you can use diving lures such as crankbaits, suspending minnows. They work great as well, especially if you're fishing pressured waters. Next on our list, lures that you can use on heavy cover fishing. So when you're fishing heavy cover that has a lot of vegetation on top water, you might want to consider getting lures that have pointy noses. So before we go further, here in the Philippines, you can get this in Facebook. It's Just Add Water Fishing. Shout out to DJ Rivera. In the Indonesia or Malaysian parts, your main man here is Don of DV Lures. This is called the DV Softbird. In the United States, this is also available. Shout out to my man James Hay of the Snakehead Outlaws. You can also use hard-bodied lures like this rat lure over here. See how pointy its nose is? So if you have duckweed, water lilies, swamp cabbage, water lettuce, the pointed nose of the lure will help you yank it out easily on heavy cover. Now, if you're a little tight on the budget, if you're fishing for heavy cover, I highly recommend getting pointed nosed hollow body frog. Now, lastly, how to fish for snakeheads on windy conditions. You know, when the waters are choppy, when fishing on choppy waters, my absolute best bet would be a spinnerbait. They have flash. If you have the Colorado blade ones, it will create more vibration, which snakeheads are very annoyed of. If I'm working on murky waters, windy day, spinnerbait. I also use a spinnerbait whenever I'm trying to catch a snakehead that is guarding a fry ball. A fry ball is pretty much a cluster of snakehead fry. Usually, a snakehead fry ball is being guarded by both the mama and the papa snakehead. And trust me, they are very easily annoyed because they are very protective of their fry balls. If spinnerbaits are hard to come by in your local tackle shop, you can also use either soft plastics with jiggets that have spinners on them, or you can use either a crankbait or a lipless crankbait. The ones with the rattles would do. If you also have a chatterbait, that's a great alternative if you're fishing choppy waters. So there you have it. Those are my highly recommended lures whenever you're snakehead fishing in open water, heavy cover fishing, or when you're fishing for snakehead on those windy days. Alright, so that is pretty much it for this week's Tackle Talk Weekends. If you like watching these kinds of videos and more, you might want to consider clicking on like, share, and subscribe. It helps me out a lot. I would like to take this opportunity to thank Bugs Villanueva of Fishing Villa for sponsoring all the lures, TJ Rivera of Just Add Water Fishing, Don of DV Lures, and James Hay of Snakehead Outlaws in the US. Alright, so once again, I'm your boy Mabber Angler. Peace, tight lines. Till next Tackle Talk Weekend, stay safe and take care. Tight lines, everyone. And weather conditions are very ideal when it comes to fishing. So meaning there's no water, meaning fishing with no water, god damn it. Like this Yozuri prop bait. You might want to also consider using lures that have treble bait, have treble hooks on them. Hollow-bodied lures come in a wide variety of shapes and sizes. For open water fishing, you can also use diving minnows. You can also use diving penguins. That's what you get if you're watching too much penguin shows. Especially if you're fishing